Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV. We need to do another chart section here with point and figure charts and try to get a view into the future. I want to look at gold, but also at uranium and some really interesting companies. For that, I have prepared a little presentation, which I want to show you guys now, of course. And yeah, as you see here, the gold chart looks really outstanding. We are in a, now long-term upward trend, which we see here. That's really fantastic. And whoops, sorry, my drawing is not so good. And what you see here, but what was really important was, first of all, the short-term breakout here on the one hand. This comes out of this formation, and which derives 1750 to 1770 US dollar target, which we hit almost last week. And now the market breezes a bit through, which is quite okay for me. And the longer term buy signal you saw at 1580 in the blue circle. This is one here, which is then derived out of the this formation here. And this gives us already a price target of 1880 US dollars for gold. And this is still, of course, fully valid. Despite some people say that gold might go down again to here, to react down there, this is absolutely possible, but I think we will stay in this upward trend here. What is even more important, which is the overall, the broad picture, is for me this formation here, and this is definitely that whole picture. And we had a super strong and heavy buy signal here together with this formation, and out of this, that was 1390, and this happened last year in June. And to me now, I must say 2440 is definitely for me the new high price target for 2021. If it takes a little bit longer, 2022, but my feeling is more in 2021. So exciting times ahead of us, and make sure that you own gold, because to be honest, gold is the big thing to own and to have, and it is like the life insurance you normally should have, or the fire insurance for your house. So make sure you own gold, and of course also silver. Let's have a look at Osisko Gold Royalties. Also quite interesting chart. What we see here, that downturn down here, that was, of course, first of all, the buy of Barkerville. That's the one thing where the market was a little bit overreacting, to my understanding, because don't forget, the company has net no debt if you take everything in counting. But on the other hand, what we see here is a beautiful pattern. We're coming out of the low here, that was Corona for US dollar 75. Don't forget that is a US dollar chart. It's very important. But out of this formation, I can derive definitely a short-term target of approximately 10 US dollar 50. And then if this would break out here over the through the green barrier, I would call it the green downtrend, definitely the old double top at 1350 US dollars is my next target here. So make sure you have an eye on Osisko Gold Royalties. And don't forget, the company is paying quarterly dividends. Another good dividend player, now a much smaller company, but a gold producer out of Zimbabwe, Caledonia Mining. Really interesting, because we had a long-term sidewise chart pattern here, and all of a sudden we got buy signals, and things are moving. So out of those formations, I would call it, if we can already calculate a target of approximately $20 out of the buy signal here. And if we go above the $18 level, which would be the breakout of the double top, then I see, of course, $23 as the next target. And the company, as said, is paying quarterly dividends. They have just postponed the dividend for the first quarter because they want to make sure what's coming out with Corona and preserve cash, which I think is quite okay in those shaky times. And as said, the company is doing extremely well, and they are growing. So we like the chart, and we like the $23 Canadian price target. Very interesting is, of course, Bluestone Resources. That looks to me like that the company is really ready to jump. We had a horrible downtrend here. And we bottomed out here, and all of a sudden we started to create a short-term upward trend. I like the fact that if we go through this red barrier here, which is approximately 225, 250 Canadian, then out of this formation, I can derive a price target of approximately $3.75 easily. But longer term, out of the broad formation here, I would say something around the $8 to $9 level. That is absolutely possible. And of course, if things are really moving, let's assume gold really goes above the $2,000, then this company has definitely room to the old highs here around 11 Canadian dollars. So this is there's a lot of chart technical room, I know, and you might say Jochen is a bit crazy as the price is around $1.70, $1.80. So we talk here about a five-fold chart pattern. Very seldom, but this is what the chart says. So let's have a look to our next company, Endeavour Silver. Yeah, a company I know which polarizes a lot, of course, and for sure they had a lot of difficulties in the last 18 months. We see here first of all, silver downtrend, then operational difficulties in the last 2 years, 2.5 years, and then came COVID-19. That was the breakdown here. But what I really like is the fact with the company that we have a double bottom here. This held, and we started again to go up. And so for that case, I would say the first target here is approximately this $4.25. But if silver starts to rise, and my perception is if silver goes above the $20, I would say the $7.50, the old high here, the old double top, is very likely. So also here, a lot of room for the stock, and I think with the Q1 numbers, also Guanaceví doing very well, coming back into the profit zone, I think there's a very good chance that this chart really will look much, much better when we look at it next time. So really time to have Endeavour Silver on the watch list. Then of course, let's have a look at uranium, ladies and gentlemen. And uranium is really something, which I was probably a little bit too early. The last 2-3 years, I anticipated already that uranium should rise, which it did not. But obviously now things look much, much better. And we have taken off the resistance here, 28.50, around the $30 level. That's gone. And we have a breakout here. That's very important from the downturn. And to me, it looks like that the first target is probably this 37.50, which is the old high from 2015, and could do a little bit more because supply has shrinked drastically. Approximately 50% of the supply is taken off the markets in the last weeks, and so demand is still growing very slowly, but it is growing, and we need definitely more uranium, and uranium is a long-term commodity. So my feeling is that if this price goes on to the $35 to $40, I think a lot of buyers are getting nervous from the utilities, and so they gotta come back to that market. So for me, uranium is also hot, and it looks to me a bit like the perfect storm. Let's have a look at UEC, Uranium Energy, company you of course well know. And very interesting is this red line here, because that's exactly the support line, and it held also here at around the 38.40 cents, which is really ridiculous for such a company, but it is what it is. And stock exchanges today and psychology of investors sometimes is really weird, but what we see here is we are back to that 90-cent level approximately. So my first target is here, the $2 level definitely. Then I see this high from 2015 in June, approximately $3. And afterwards, I could imagine something around the $4 to $4.25 level. If uranium really starts to run and UEC goes back in production, this is of course very likely. And if we see uranium prices above the $60 mark, I would say the old double top here, which is from 2010 pre-Fukushima of approximately $7.50, is then very likely. But this is a bit long forward looking or future looking, if you want to do it like that. And but this is I have to show this to you because this is what the chart says, and point and figure is really long term. So we like the opportunity here. And if you look at uranium, you should probably have a look at UEC. If we come to the explorers, that's very interesting. IsoEnergy, the company is too young for a point and figure chart. But what is really interesting, we are quite close to break through this resistance here. But what is also important is that we have crossed the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average. And this is also a very, very good sign. And if you forgive me that I'm drawing like this here, this is a V shape. Yeah, sorry, I do it again. That was not very nice. This V shape I really like because it shows on the one hand this fantastic drill results IsoEnergy had, and on the other hand it shows that uranium prices have gone up by 35% within the last 4 weeks. So what does it mean now? I could imagine that the first target is something like here, approximately the 80 cent level, and longer term my feeling is something approximately $1.10, maybe $1.20, but also this old high here, what we have seen is here above, yeah, the $1.40, $1.50 level is quite likely. So that is all possible. This is all in the making. And yeah, things look really good. I can say only to you, gold, uranium, those are commodities which are a place to be also despite a worldwide recession. And the companies hopefully deliver, as we said. And I would say, wish you a wonderful day. Thanks for watching us. Stay healthy. That's the most important thing. And make sure you have some physical gold and have a look at uranium. Thanks and bye-bye from Switzerland.